Mila. I'm back in the kitchen, and this time I'm gonna make a smoky guajillo salsa. It's really simple, but it's just a little bit not your typical salsa. There's no tomato in it. You take these guajillo peppers, you reconstitute them, and it's a great salsa to have over meat or with chips or however you like. So I'm gonna start by removing the stems and the seeds from the peppers. The recipe that I wrote calls for 4 large peppers, but some of these are kind of small, so I'm using more. These guajillo peppers, they're not too spicy, so I'm just trying to get all the seeds out. And just tear them up. So I've just removed all the stems and seeds from my guajillo peppers, and I've torn them up, and I'm gonna add 1 cup of hot water and reconstitute these for about an hour. You could do all day, do as long as you want, but a minimum of an hour. So I'm gonna cover this and let it sit on the counter for about an hour. So I've just reconstituted my guajillo peppers, and now I'm going to dry roast some onion, half a white onion, and some garlic cloves. And then we're gonna just throw it all into the food processor with some other special ingredients and make a delicious salsa. I'm going to dry roast half of a white onion and some garlic cloves. And this process, using no oil, gives our salsa like that smoky flavor that I want. I'm gonna put the onion on first because the onion takes longer. And what it's gonna do is char and blacken, and then it'll be tender. It'll start to be softened and fall apart. It's like cooking it, because once it goes in the salsa, you don't want it to have that raw taste. So my onion and my garlic are soft and tender and nice and charred on the outside. I'm just gonna add it to the food processor. And I'm gonna dump in my guajillo chilies with the liquid. About a 1/4 cup of fresh cilantro. You can chop it up roughly before you do that if you want. And the juice of 1 lime. This is just a lemon juicer. Is that descriptive enough? A tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin. A 1.5 tablespoons of agave nectar, or syrup, whatever you call it. When you buy a can of chipotle peppers, it has this adobo sauce. We're not using the chipotle, we're using the sauce. It can be super spicy, so you have to be careful. I'm gonna put a 1/2 tablespoon in. You may want it super spicy, you may want a tablespoon. I think it's better to start out little. If you're sensitive to heat, start out even with less than 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm just gonna dip into here. You can always add more heat, but you can't go back. And I have 1 teaspoon of ground cumin and a pinch of salt. All right, so it's ready to puree. All right, so my guajillo salsa is all done, and I'm just gonna taste it. It's so good. It has a good smoky flavor to it. It's slightly sweet and just the right amount of heat. I always serve this on my roasted beef tacos. I think you should check it out.